Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And we're doing two quick bits in succession because I get to go see a movie with Mom tomorrow. So, now the usual disclaimers. And I'm sorry if the keyboard's going up and down, the kitty is nuzzling it. Okay, first off, you are going to see the link to this report right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, plus the templates, you know the drill, sign your name, click on your senator, and the ever-present and self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, folks, when we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Okay, it is 4:40 in the afternoon. I have had back-to-back stupid all day. So yes, folks, I am exhausted, so if I stumble over my words, my apologies in advance, alright? Okay, so we are going to languages other than English implemented, response required no, even though we do know from a fact, from a DPPC abuse allegation report, that there was literally only one teacher who spoke Spanish. And she was the only one who could communicate with the student that she sexually exploited. But we don't do our homework in Massachusetts. They did their paperwork so nice, though, Tiff. Fucking kill me. Do they not review anything other than their own bullshit? I'd love to know. 15.4 Change of students' legal status. The school shall have procedures for assuring that it is informed by a parent or guardian of any changes in a student's legal status and of the results of all judicial and administrative proceedings concerning the student. The school shall have written procedures for disseminating this information to the appropriate personnel. Implemented. Response required. No, I'd rather go to fucking jail than these people. Can we be honest here? I'd rather they put my ass in jail. I'm just going to say it for all of us. Just in case anyone was wondering. 15.5 Parent consent. Oh, this is where they're going to blow smoke up my ass and try to tell us the parents consented is court ordered, so it can't be torture. You really think they tell the parents everything that's going on in that school? Think those parents know that they shock those kids at just below the lethal limit? Think they know how many times those kids get shocked a day and over what they get shocked for? Do you think they describe in detail those bizarre behavioral lessons? Do you think they tell those parents that those kids literally have to earn every single bite of food they eat per day? Do you think the parents know they deprive them of sleep? Because I'm going to answer probably not. But let's see what smoke they're going to blow up our ass here. The program shall notify the placing school district when multiple efforts have been made, yet have failed to involve the parent and obtain necessary parental consent. Matters requiring annual parental consent include, but are not limited to, the following: in coordination with responsible school districts, IEP-related matters, emergency medical care. Remember, they don't want to contact the parents. See, that's why they don't let these kids go to doctors, because then they have to notify the parents. Medications, restraint, publicity, research, evaluation, and field trips. How much disinformation do you think they give those parents about medication? Remember how they say, but these kids would be comatose all drugged up. It's the same bullshit line they've been using since that 1986 consent decree. Pharmacology from over fucking 30 years ago is not the same as today, but they still blow the same bullshit up parents' asses, and because everybody's so fucking paranoid about pharma, thank you, anti-vaxxers. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that there before I go on a pseudoscience rant. You don't want to get me there. In coordination with responsible school districts, the parental notification law pursuant to Chapter 71, Section 32A, concerning curriculum that primarily involves human sexual education or human sexuality issues. Rated implemented, response required, no. 15.6 Student involvement. The program shall corroborate with the placing school district to ensure student participation in team meetings when required by the law and if appropriate. You see that little if appropriate there, right? You see how they got that right in there. So they're going to sit there and pretty much tell you the student is too stupid to be able to understand what's going on at the meeting, so them being here is not really appropriate, and they get away with it. Why? We live in a fucking ableist world, people. You know how many people who have asked me that if I am somewhat mentally retarded because I have autism? There's a list. There is actually a list. Just saying. If the student does not attend IEP meetings, steps are taken to ensure the student's preferences and interests are considered for all of 5 minutes as rewards. I'm just going to say it again. Yeah, people still call people with autism mentally retarded. They still use archaic words like mental retardation. Yeah. It's called intellectual disability, people. Learn it, love it. It's implemented, response required, no. Of course not. You're going to sit there and say that everything's hunky-dory and that the students just don't understand what's for their own good. That's exactly what every fucking abuser says as their defense for what they do to kids. Okay? We good on that? Good. 15.7 Consent at age of majority. 1 year prior to the students reaching age 18, the program works collaboratively with the responsible school district to ensure consent is obtained from the student to continue the special education program upon turning age 18, or to ensure that another mechanism is in place to obtain consent. And here's our if. Here's our but. You knew there was a but coming, right? The parent or other legally eligible party has petitioned and been appointed guardian by a court of competent jurisdiction. There it is, folks. You wonder why I said this tied into the Britney Spears case? There it is. Many of these kids are put into court-ordered guardianships more often than not by people that are not even their own parents, and those guardianships are always given over to people by the same fucking court system that bends over backwards to protect this school. Do you really think they got that kid's best interest at heart? You think they give a damn about that kid's civil rights? No, they don't. Because no fucking kid would ever agree to continue this bullshit. The student chooses to share a decision-making with his or her parent. The student chooses to delegate continued decision-making to his or her parent or other willing adult. See, this is where they try to make them seem like they're forward-thinking, because I had my mom participate in my meetings, but I was still the final decision-maker. My mom was there because she would notice things I wouldn't necessarily notice about myself. And she would be able to bring them up, and we would be able to discuss them and discuss options. But ultimately, the final decision ended with me. That's what person-centered planning is all about. It puts the person with the disability in control, not somebody else. But They use that little crafty wording to try and make it seem like that's what they're doing here. It's not. It's not. You gotta read between the lines with these bastards. You gotta read between those lines. They're gonna tell you implemented, response required no. They make it sound good. Read between those lines, though. Read between those lines. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and close out on that note. So, we don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. And the few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening. And as always, folks, we here at Smelling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.